I'd recommend the Cambridge English Teacher website, because there's lots of good resources there and you can build your skills. And it's also a fantastic resource for students. The problem is, though, for students, that out of the 100 or so articles and modules and courses that are on there, only about 3 or 4 are related to IELTS. However, for the teachers, all the other resources are definitely useful, and I'd recommend that if you're serious about teaching and you want to improve your skills, then go there and you can find out lots. I found it a really good investment for my future. Now then, let's have a look at step 1. So we've been given the question, okay? For example, tell me something about your hometown, okay? And I've gone over this before, because it's kind of just common sense, but it's common sense if you're teaching it every day for the last couple of years, like myself. But if you're new to the exam, then it's not common sense at all. It's completely new knowledge, so it's worth just touching it again, going over it again. So let's see. So tell me something about your hometown. You can say, I come from Glasgow in Scotland. It's not too good, is it? What else could we do there to improve that? Well, we can provide a description. Yeah? Tell me something about your hometown. Well, and this is a natural way to start a sentence anyway. Well, I'm from Glasgow, an industrial city in the north of the United Kingdom. Scotland, in fact. The city was an industrial hub in the 1700s, and unfortunately there's a lot of unemployment there now. But the weather is also pretty poor. But apart from that, the people are fantastic. Okay? Can you see how much richer that description is? It's so much better. So let's go into what I did there. Well, I shared some of the characteristics of the city, and I gave the examiner some additional information. Okay? So, let's see. To do this, what we can do is we can provide names, labels, industrial city in this case, in the north of the UK, Scotland. Just going to more specific, and this is similar to the paragraphs you're writing. We're going from general to specific. Tell me something about your hometown. Oh, Glasgow is my hometown. In fact, it's a city. Blah, blah, blah. And then we'll go into the weather, we'll go into the people, we'll go into the economy, and we're getting more specific there. Okay, so this is a general structure, a general outline we can follow. So we can also engage sort of like the categories, classifications, and say it's a city, it's not a town. That's one way of classifying it. We can engage our senses, yeah? What's the colour like in Glasgow? It's grey, it's overcast, it's rainy, it's grim, it's cold, yeah? We talk about the temperature, talk about the smell, talk about the sound, the taste. Okay, bring it to life. Try and visualize it in your mind. If you are from Glasgow, if you're from Casablanca in Morocco, if you're from, Seoul in Korea, yeah, tell me about these places. Give me a rich description. And if you don't know about it, get on Wikipedia and just try and get this sorted. Okay, try and get a just an absolute stellar description of your hometown, of your country. Get it down on paper, get it grammatically perfect, okay, because it's going to set you off on the right track and it's going to boost your confidence. If you just give this knockout description right at the beginning, it's just going to set you up for success. Okay, now let's build on this even more. How can we expand on this answer even more? So let's go back to the beginning. Tell me something about your hometown. Well, I'm from Glasgow. It's an old city in Scotland, and It's a city with a lot of character. The people are serious. They've got a good sense of moral highness or whatever, blah, blah, blah. What I'm trying to do there is introduce some sentiments or some feelings. Okay, and this is going to help us expand on our answer. Okay, what else can we say? So we said it's a very serious, earnest city, very much like the people of Scotland. And as you probably know, the people in Scotland have a general reputation for being very intelligent people. Yeah, and I'm just putting my feelings in there. I'm showing a bit of pride. There's nothing wrong with that. And we're just expanding and making it interesting. And we're also showing the examiner our wonderful vocabulary. Okay, so what have we done so far? Well, we've started with well, because that's sounds very natural. Okay, we provided some descriptions. We described the basics, and we're going from general to specific. So we provided the basics. Then we did a little bit of a description. Then we introduced some characteristics, some additional information there. Okay, that our senses, temperature, smell, sounds, taste, all of this. And then we introduced our feelings. Might be feelings of pride, might be feelings of empathy towards the city, towards our hometown. And then finally, and this is for the superstar students, what you can do here is give an extraordinary feature of the city. Okay, so now the way we can case this, so I'll give you an example. Tell me something about your hometown. Well, I'm from Glasgow. Glasgow's situated in the southwest of Scotland, which is basically the northeast of the UK, more or less. And yeah, the city's very interesting. It's very vibrant. There's an amazing music scene there. Unfortunately, the economy has taken a hit over the last couple of years, but it's recovering. The people there are amazing. They're very friendly, very intelligent bunch. The only downside is the weather. But interestingly, Glasgow is the rainiest city in Europe. No other city gets as much rain as Glasgow. Okay? Now, that was quite an extraordinary feature. There's only one city in Europe that can be the rainiest. I'm taking a guess. Glasgow obviously is not my home city. If it were, you probably couldn't understand me when I spoke English. But anyway, Glasgow is not my home city, so I can't give you a fact about Glasgow, an extraordinary feature. But what I did give you was something that was believable. Okay? And so these are the kinds of stuff that we want to be incorporating into our speaking test. Okay, so let's have a look at applying this knowledge to other very common questions in the IELTS exam. Now, hometown is almost certain because we're going to be asked, tell me something about yourself. Okay, and you can obviously start talking about your hometown. Okay, or just in the part one where it's getting to know you, we're going to talk about our hometown. Now, another thing, by preparing about the hometown, we're also going to cover a lot of useful vocabulary, which is for places of geographic vocabulary, places, descriptions, buildings, climate, all this, the economy of the place. So it's worth covering that. It's worth reviewing that for your speaking. Now, another part that is definitely worth researching and preparing for, because you'll be more than likely asked to use this vocabulary, is your vocabulary for describing people. So imagine in the exam, we've got a question about, for example, tell me something about your family. Okay, now using the structure before, and what you can do, actually what I used to do with my students was you can put all of the structure of your answer onto your fingers. So your little fingers provide the basics. Your, what's it called? It's not index. I can't remember what it's called now. But your second, the one near your little finger, what we do there is provide a little description. Then on the middle finger, share some characteristics or additional information. And number 4 on that is your index finger, your pointing finger, insert a sentiment or a feeling. And then number 5, an extraordinary feature. Okay, cover those 5 points for your answers and you're doing well. Okay, so let's go through it now. What was the question? It was, tell me something about your family. Well, I have a brother, a sister, and obviously my parents. Okay, this is the basics. Okay, this is my family. Let's provide a little description. We're moving from the basics, which is our little finger. We're moving on to the next one, and we're going to provide a description. So we can say, my father is a grocer. He works in the north of England, and my mum is retired and she used to be a careers officer. And I myself, I'm the middle child. I've got a younger brother and an older sister. You could call my brother a little animal, but that would be a bit rude. But that's me joking around. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It just shows you're human. Yeah, my little brother, he's a little animal, but everybody loves him. Okay, so what we're doing there is just providing a little description about the family. Okay, now characteristics or additional information. Kind of did go into that a little bit, but we can go into more detail about it. Yeah, I can say my sister is an interior designer. She lives in Australia. I think she went there to escape the terrible weather in the north of the UK. And now, what else can we go? A sentiment of feeling. This is exactly where I was going to go with the description about my sister. So I was talking about she escapes from the UK, she escaped from the bad weather. Now I can see, to be honest, I think she absolutely loves it in Australia. She loves the people, the climate, the culture, and also she's having a tremendous amount of success there as well. Okay, so just basically talking about her feelings. All right. Now, just to go back, we're talking about my family, and then, yeah, just to sort of like close off the question, we can just say something like, well, we're going to close the question perhaps with an extraordinary feature. So we could say, well, what's interesting about my family is that out of all of us, out of all my parents, out of my brothers and sisters, all of us are living in different countries. I don't think it's going to continue in the future. Perhaps we'll all be united in the forthcoming years, but for the moment, we're all living in different countries. So that's a brief description about my family. Yeah? And we're closing the question and we're signaling to the examiner that that's the end of the talk. Okay? So let's just review. Little finger, we're going to give the basic description. Okay, we're going to provide the basics. This is your simple answers. We can't mess up with these. Okay, then we're going to provide a little description. The what, the where, the when. Then we're going to share some characteristics, some additional information. Okay, we're going to use our senses. Temperature, smell, sound, taste. Number 4, a feeling. Are they proud? Are they happy? Are they depressed? Do they love it? Do they hate it? Let's bring the description to life. Okay? And then finally on the thumb, when we're touching our thumb, we're just going to say something extraordinary. Yeah? Just something that's quite unique about what you're talking about. Yeah? It might be something like, interestingly, all my family are ginger, except me. Something like that, whatever. Okay? And we can also use that extraordinary feature to sort of like signal to the examiner we're closing our talk. Okay? So using that structure, we are going to be able to expand our answers, and we're going to be able to give the examiner some more information and just help them to give you a high mark, which is exactly what you deserve. Now, if you want some more help with this, if you want practice and feedback about using this structure, have a look at the online IELTS course at sentenceguide.com. If you go to sentenceguide.com, there you'll find the speaking package, and that comes with some excellent tutorials with more very practical tips like this that you can incorporate into your preparation. They're very fast to implement. You'll see a very quick result. And what I love about the course is that you're going to get some direct feedback from me, okay, or from the other tutor who's on the team. She's an IELTS expert as well. And what we'll do is review your speaking and tell you where to slow down, where to speed up, how to expand your answers, what you need to improve, check your pronunciation. So it's a really quick way of improving. Okay, so you can have a look at that at sentenceguide.com. Also, if you're having any problems, just jump online and shoot me an email, sign up for the newsletter. You won't be disappointed. It's been reviewed, it's been reworked, so there's more content coming out and more value. Have a look at that, and yeah, good luck in your IELTS exam. Keep going. You can do it. You've learnt your own language. There's nothing stopping you from getting very competent in the English language. You've got the skills, you've got the brains. Just apply it, keep working, and you will eventually get there. All the best, and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to IELTSPodcast.com.